What's up, everybody? Welcome to Move the Sticks. DJ, Bucky, Rhett, back together again. Boys, what's going on? Buck, I will make a deal with you. You don't make fun of the Padres. I won't make fun of the Tar Heels, and we just keep this train moving.
I mean, some things are always the same. It never changes. Whatever. It's just a very quick, short-lived stint for the Pods.
No, it's almost as short-lived as that Hulu series you guys just canceled.
I knew it was coming.
Saw that. Yep. That made it through 5 weeks, and they're like, "Yeah, we don't need we don't need to document this anymore. We're good. Let's not do that.
We're good."
Rhett, what do you got going on this weekend? Anything going on? Any big games or anything?
Just a top 10 matchup between the Hoosiers and the Ducks.
Really?
Can I just quickly, because I know you guys appreciate kind of reliving the glory days.
Yeah.
So Indiana is going to Autzen Stadium in Eugene this week, right? Yeah. The 2004 Indiana Hoosiers remain the last team to beat Oregon, last Big Ten team to beat Oregon at Autzen Stadium.
Wow.
You know who was on that team?
There you go. That guy.
Do you know what the box score looked like in that game? We got outgained by 300 yards.
Nice. We
had a kickoff return for a touchdown. We had 6 completions in the pass game.
Yeah.
They had 7. What in the world are you? We had 7.
I'm sorry. I support you. Go ahead.
Oh my God. That's ridiculous. Who sent you those? Why do you have those? Why do you have those?
Huh?
Nothing to see here.
It's ridiculous. Hayden, my son is a senior in high school, and his
I know you're wearing your master's hat for a reason.
He goes on, there's these websites where the players will ditch their stuff because they want to make a little extra money on the side. So he's got gloves from, I don't know, he's probably got 100 sets of gloves from different teams. And I'm like, oh, I bet you he has some Oregon gloves. So I just sprinted into his room before we started and found these little Oregon gloves here. So I was just going to bust your shot.
Very good. Yeah.
I don't think he has any IU gloves. I don't know if those are a hot ticket item on the black market there.
They are now.
College football gloves.
They are now, buddy. Yeah. And anyway. So yeah, we won that game somehow on the road. Kellen Clemens had 3 interceptions. Haloti Ngata was an absolute monster in that game, but somehow figured out a way to win, Just wanted to bring that one back, now looking to go back into Eugene and take care of business again.
Oof. Buck, what do you think in that? We're going to get to the NFL, but I got to get your take on what you think is going to happen. And don't just be nice because he's our friend.
Look, man, the Oregon teams that I've seen are hammering people, and Dan Lanning will find something that you guys have either put out there in a tweet.
No, we didn't do it. Didn't do anything. Signetti was like this.
Something
like this week.
Something with the bias, something that offends his sensibilities.
Yeah.
To have his team ready to go. I will say in a short time, he has become one of the best football coaches in the college landscape. His ability to not only get his teams up and going tactically, but the motivational stuff that he uses, he finds it. So I know you've done something, Rhett. I know you've uttered something. Somebody associated with Indiana has
They're monitoring this podcast.
Disrespectful
to
Oregon.
Nothing but
and he is going to use that little morsel, that little kernel to motivate his squad.
Nope. But
hey,
let
Rhett,
me just say this.
Should the winner of this game be number 1 in the country?
I feel like
will anybody have 2? Will anybody have? Well, no, I'm just saying. Will anybody have 2 better wins
than Indiana?
Than whoever wins this game.
No,
Indiana would have it because Illinois was a top 10 win, right?
Top 10 win. Yep.
This would be a top 10 win. And
Oregon had
Penn State, and then I know, but at the time on the road, white out, top. That's a great win.
It's an incredible win. I would agree with you. I think that those 2 top 10 wins will be better than anything we've seen in the country thus far. Now, look, I know the SEC's got some big games this week. In the next couple of weeks.
Oklahoma's going to be fun.
Yeah. Hey, let me just say this real quick about coaching because I know we love that kind of stuff and messaging. Honestly, I feel like Dan Lanning is the millennial Curt Cignetti. Like when you think about the way that they try to reach their teams. I mean, Dan is like a little bit more up with today's kind of culture, but like they are so similar in their approaches. When you really dig into it, it's actually, I mean, honestly, it's, 2 of the very top coaches in college football today. I don't think you can really debate that at this point with what Cignetti's done at IU and what Dan Lanning continues to do.
I think that's fair. I absolutely think that's fair. Well, everybody be watching. Excited for you, man, to have your program where they are. It's pretty cool. All right, let's get into some NFL stuff, Buck. I'm going to switch the conversation over to you. That was a big win, man. The Jacksonville Jaguars get a big W in a kind of bizarre game. I tweeted out at the end, that was the drunkest game-winning drive I think I've ever seen, man. That thing was nuts. And ended up being finished off by a stumble-rooski into the end zone for Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, DJ, I would say a few different things that were apparent. When you're a team that doesn't play on Monday Night Football or playing primetime games, the stage can be a little big and it create some frustration and a frenzied feel to it. After the game, I had a long conversation with Jordan Lewis, who came from the Dallas Cowboys, and he talked about how everyone was out of sorts, and he was looking around like, what is going on? But then we talked, and he came to the realization that in Dallas, they always play on a primetime stage. So you get comfortable in that environment, knowing that the football world is watching, all of the pomp and circumstance that comes along with playing Monday night games. The Jaguars hadn't been in the Monday night game. They were on last year, but it was up in Buffalo. But at home, it hadn't been since 2023 against the Cincinnati Bengals. And what it felt like, everyone was out of sorts trying to do too much. At halftime, Liam Cohen told the team, everyone take a deep breath, calm down. We haven't played. Let's just play one play at a time and see what it looks like. And in the second half, you saw more of what the Jags have been playing like the first 4 weeks than what we saw that first half. And I would say that it still wasn't perfect. Trevor, to me, needed to have this game on a national stage to show people that, look, flawed or not, he can grind it out. And he also discovered, and the coach discovered, he is one who needs to use his legs to settle himself down. And I would think that's an underutilized part of his game, but one that he needs to lean into. If he can lean into it, kind of like Pat Mahomes and some of the other guys lean into it when they need it, not just as a crutch. The other thing, and why I was so confident going into the thing with Travis Hunter, man, there's some guys that you have on a team that just bring the juice. And he is a juice player. When he touches the ball and gets it going, it changes the energy in the stadium. He has to do it. And finally, Brian Thomas Jr. catching the pass down the stretch, that might be the moment that allows him to get back to playing at the level that he played at. Sometimes you just need to see that big shot go through the hoop before you kind of say, oh, okay, I know how to do this. That catch down the sideline was a big moment because of the way that he fended off the defender, but also made a tough,
it was close
catch. Yeah,
it was close. That ball bobbled around in there a little bit, but he corralled it.
He did. So that was one of the moments. Yeah.
To me, it felt like, guys, that Trevor Lawrence was Josh Allen. Like on that last drive, that's what that felt like to me. Like a guy that just would not be denied. And how many times have we seen Josh Allen pull that kind of rabbit out of his hat that way? I won't lie to you. It certainly felt like at some point, I was like, ooh, how many seconds are we going to leave on the clock here at the very end? Right. There was that mindset a little bit. But like that play, man, falling down twice, getting stepped on, knowing that you were into it. What were they? They were going to have to spike it, right? If they didn't, because they were out of timeouts. At that point?
They were out of timeouts. I felt like it was either second down, so they were going to spike it and use it. But you don't want to burn up plays.
Down.
And you didn't want to use up all your stuff. And then I'm gonna be honest, Patrick Mahomes is like Michael Myers. He's like Halloween. He just keeps coming. Like he's just, and so you're looking at the clock like, now you don't want to score too soon because I've seen this movie. I've seen this happen too much. Yeah, it was a lot going on. But credit to him having the wherewithal to be able to put it in the paint. Because when he fell down, I was like, oh, man, of all the things, this is the way that you go out. But he found a way to get it in.
Yeah. The other thing I'd say, DJ, real quick, is that part of that performance frustrates me a little bit for the Jaguars. Because, like, why can't we see that on a more consistent basis from Trevor? Like he makes some of those big time throws, but like that killer instinct, man, that felt like that was on a different level last night.
Yeah, you had a different confidence level there than I did. I was watching that drive, looking at a delay game, looking at him taking forever to snap the ball, looking at the close-ups where I'm sitting there watching it with my wife. And my wife is like, just a casual football watcher is like, he looks scared to death. I'm like, I know. There was nothing about that was eliciting Josh Allen vibes for me. But he made the big throw when he had to have it. And after tripping twice, he got up and found his way, into the end zone. So I was glad the way it ended. I'm hopeful that this is the result that will produce confidence. I am not of the belief that was confidence that produced that result, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
Yeah,
it does make a lot of sense. And watching it weekly, look, man, if you come into the game and you look at the stat line that he had, he was at the bottom of everything. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to like the numbers. But sometimes you have to find a way to win without the stats being a big part of it. And DJ, I'm gonna be honest with you. I looked up in the scoreboard at one point, he was 12 for 16, 160 something yards and whatever. And I was like, my eyes certainly did not see that stat line. Like I know the stat line is true, but what I was seeing was not that, because it wasn't pretty. It wasn't one of those vintage performances that you'll say, but I think he needed to get through that. And I'll say this, he is always going to be saddled by the expectations that were put on him when he won the national championship very early as a collegiate. He will never live up to that. He can be an upper echelon quarterback, a top 8 quarterback, maybe a top 5 quarterback. But the expectations that people have for him, I don't know if he'll ever quite get there. He just has to learn how to take all of that, cast it to the side, and find a way to do what he needs to do weekly to help the team win games. Because, look, he's going dirt dobbing some balls. The balls are going to skip. He's going to throw some errantly, and then he's going to come back with a dime that you can be like, man,
the
I would
last
love
drive
to see
was
that
the full Trevor experience.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is.
The full Trevor experience. The glimpses of absolute, like brilliance, those type moments. But in this one, finding a way to win, just figuring it out, something to be said for that.
Yeah, no doubt. Big win. And the Jags are in a great spot.
I got something, DJ, because I don't know if you have it available. I would love to get your take
Devin
from
Lloyd
your
report.
notes. The Devin Lloyd report.
Lloyd is a tall, rangy linebacker with exemplary versatility and production. Split time between lining up on the edge and an inside linebacker against the pass. He can run and mirror tight ends all over the field. He's very instinctive as a zone dropper, able to anticipate, drive, and make plays on the ball. His ball skills are special for a linebacker. See pick 6 against Stanford. Lloyd is an effective blitzer off the edge, displaying a burst to close and wreak havoc in the backfield. Against the run, plays downhill, uses his length to play off blocks and collect tackles. Has great lateral range, does have some stiffness in space, but is a reliable tackler. I love Lloyd's play speed, passion, and aggression. He has Pro Bowl potential. He was my 13th overall player in that draft.
Okay, DJ. So that's how I feel about him.
This is why we've been doing this for so long, Buck. I had that queued up because I knew you were going to ask me for that.
Because DJ, it's been one of my biggest frustrations, feeling like you're that guy on the island, the Devin Lloyd Island. Like, hey man, I'm telling you guys, this guy can play.
Wasn't Chad Muma getting more reps?
Yeah.
When they were rookies?
Look, man, he was splitting time. He was in a competition with Ventrell Miller to be the starter this year.
Who?
And yeah, 4th round pick, Ventrell Miller from Florida. That's what the competition was. And one of the things, and I tweeted today, that 80 to 85% of players in this league are system players. They got to be in the right system with the right environment, coaches to thrive. And he's being utilized like he was utilized in Utah. And what you're seeing is a result of that. Here's the dilemma, though. You didn't pick up the 5th-year option. So now he's a free agent at the end of the year. Not only do you have to make a decision on whether you want to pay him, he has to make a decision on whether he wants to chase the bag, or is he finally in a system that allows him to do what he did so well at Utah. Yeah. That's where free agency can cloud so many decisions that have to be made.
You can still tag him, right?
You can. It's going to be a hefty tag, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, you're right.
But when you have 4 interceptions and a number of splash plays in 5 games, 2 Defensive Player of the Week awards, a Defensive Player of the Month award, the bag is getting bigger. So I would suggest you might want to put that call into the agent today.
Well, I would say don't compound a mistake. You didn't tag him. Okay, that was probably mistake number 1. Don't let him walk out the building, though. You got to find a way to make that work. But it's interesting, Buck, when you go back through and look through the college stuff, because he was so instinctive against the pass. And if you watch him so far this year, I do think some of that tightness and stiffness will show up in some of the change of direction.
For sure.
I think that's still there.
It does.
But his eyes are so good. He's rangy and long. And that was kind of that. This was kind of on the heels of Fred Warner and remember Shaq Leonard? The league was trying to find these long, rangy Tremaine Edmonds. That was all the rage. And Just took him a minute to kind of find his footing and find his fit. But man, you're seeing it big time right now for the Jags. On the Chiefs side of things, one thing we had talked about before, I've been arguing for Brashard Smith to get more involved. Like they need more juice and explosiveness. And it seems like every time they give him a little something, he does something good with it. I just don't know why they aren't getting him the ball even more.
Yeah, I was cursing you up under my breath when they were throwing bubble screens and getting him the ball. I was like, God dog it. He's just been talking to someone in the building. Like now they're going to feature him. He's beginning to make plays, and you can see what he can add to this offense. And look, this is an offense that has interesting players, but I don't know how all the pieces of the puzzle fit together to make it like a very cohesive unit. Like they have a fast guy in Xavier Worthy. They have Hollywood Brown who can make plays on occasion. They have Smith. Travis Kelce is kind of a freelance player on third down, but it's a very unique team. And the guy who holds together is Pat Mahomes. And at some point, they're going to have to figure out a way to blend all the pieces together so Pat Mahomes doesn't have to do everything. DJ, I was exhausted thinking about being Pat Mahomes. I don't know how he can sustain it over a 17-game season where he's having to do everything. And I mean everything.
Rhett, any take on Chris Jones in that little video that's popping around?
I mean, not really.
Yeah.
Just kind of, not surprising.
Some of it's circumstantial. You get to the end of a long drive, you're 300 plus pounds out there, you're a little bit gassed. I can get that. It's just
bad.
When you clip it off and post it, it's a bad look. It's accompanied by a lot of the attitude stuff and frustration.
How many? Yep. And I think you're seeing some of that. I do wonder if there is something to, as that continues to kind of percolate there. But like, I think in a vacuum, you could probably find 100 clips like that around the league. You know what I mean? So like sometimes that's tough and it gets amplified on social, but like, obviously you don't love to see that from a leader of the team, right? Or anybody really, but certainly a guy that's as well thought of as that. But I thought like overall, like, I don't think like the pressure from the Chiefs defense against Trevor Lawrence in this game was the problem.
No.
Like they were constantly getting after him. There's plenty of other issues.
Yeah. No, it'll be interesting to see where the Chiefs go. I think they got Detroit, I believe, next week.
Yeah, Detroit next week.
Does not get easier. So again, it feels like this year more than any other, there's no dominant team. It is wide open in both conferences. It's all there for the taking. I think a lot of it's going to come down to who can be healthy and clicking at the end of the year. Right?
How about the Ravens, like on the verge of maybe 1-5 to start the year with the Rams coming to town this week?
The only thing about them is you kind of I looked at their schedule the other day, and this is set up for them to win. They're going to win like the last 6 games, and they're going to be like one game over 500, be the last seed in the tournament, and probably nobody's going to want to play them. At that point in time. That's
you're right.
Kind of the way it could work out.
I mean, the division's not that far out of hand. I guess like Pittsburgh's kind of still up there at the very top. But speaking of the North,
the trade.
Yeah.
How about the trade that just went down, by the way? I put this in the chat a little bit ago, but we were cooking on the Jags, so I wanted to play that out. But hey, here's my question.
Okay.
Is the headline the national headline? And I'll hit you on this. Is the national headline one of two options? Is it Shedeur Sanders moves up depth chart? Or is it Joe Flacco traded in division to Bengals? What's the headline?
Shedeur Sanders moves up depth chart.
Depends on where you look.
I guess that's where you look.
Depends on what show you're watching, I guess, right?
Well, it depends on what veteran they go now out and acquire, right? Yeah. Like, are they going to get Snoop Huntley? Then for sure, sitting there at number 2. I don't know if I don't think you make that move to then go sign another veteran, like another like Flacco-esque veteran, right? I mean, like,
man, Joe Flacco. There's 2 things I'm thinking. Joe Flacco behind this offensive line gets me a little nervous, but also Joe Flacco just chucking the ball down the field to T. Higgins and Jamar Chase sounds kind of fun.
That is crazy.
Hasn't Jake Browning kind of been doing that?
I think Flacco can push that thing a little more
probably a little further
than, I would say than Browning can. And this is the trade conditions here. It's a 6-rounder in exchange for a 5. So they just pick swap there. They move up around in the 5th. Browns continue to add to their war chest of assets in next year's draft while they're playing all these young rookies, including a quarterback in Dylan Gabriel. You had to do this though, Buck. If you're Cincinnati, you couldn't trot Browning out there another week.
No, you couldn't, because you lose all your credibility. Like at some point, you have to be committed to winning. And they were going to win games with Jake Browning. And even though I was there in the building when they won the only game that they won with him at quarterback, it wasn't sustainable. And the league is kind of done.
Turnovers are insane.
Yeah, I mean, just ridiculous. Like, because the offense,
like Flacco is particularly judicious with
but the offense hasn't changed. Like, you haven't given him a chance because you're running Joe Burrow's offense with someone who's not Joe Burrow. At some point, you have to figure it out. And with Flacco, at least, if you're going to put him in Joe Burrow's offense and let him fling it, he does have some success being able to throw it around. The turnovers are going to be there, but it was either going to be Joe Flacco or Jameis Winston. I wanted to see one of those guys, someone that was just going to air it out. But the turnovers are going to come in droves.
They're kind of similar, though, aren't they? Jameis and Joe, like, aren't they kind of like
the same family?
Same guys?
Look, this team, after all this, though, this team's 2-3, and you look down the line here. They got a couple games with the Steelers. I know the Steelers' record is what it is, but they haven't been, dominating team. Can you split with the Steelers? You're going to lose at the Packers this week. You got a Jets game on there, a Bears game. Those are games you can be competitive and potentially win. You got a Patriots game in there. I know they're playing well, but you need to just try and hover and hang around 500 and hope that Joe Burrow's toe is just got an unbelievable healing power to get him back in time to try and save the season. But at least this gives you a chance to try and salvage this whole thing. All right, guys, let's take a look. Rookie draft coming off last week. There was a monster game from Rabuka. Rhett got some nice points there. Bucky, I think collected a bunch of second place points here with Judkins, Warren, and Hunter all having solid days. I got really a big
tight
one.
In the running back room, though.
Yeah, exactly. I got Genty got me some points.
15.9.
And Fannin did a nice job for me there. So we are sitting here. I'm at 25. Rhett's at 18. Bucky's at 17. So still pretty close, all jammed up in here. So we got today's draft. We've got a couple teams out of the mix. So Woody Marks, all apologies, he's not available this week. Jaden Higgins also not available with the buys. So Rhett, you are kicking us off. Go ahead and take a Buka so we can get this train moving.
Well, hold on. We're bringing back the exclusive tight end position.
Tight end exclusively. So you have to have a tight end, a running back, and a wide receiver.
Yeah. Give me Tyler Warren.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, wow. He's back.
He's back, baby.
All right. I'll take a Buka. I mean, I got no choice.
Yeah.
Buck, you got 2 picks, my friend.
Okay, so I'm going to go with Fannin Jr. Ooh. And let's go with I'm going to stick with it. Let's go with Travis Hunter. They play Seattle this weekend. I'm going to go with Travis Hunter.
Okay. Hey, I'm going to go Bill. Give me Bill off last week.
Bill Krosky.
Give me Krosky Merritt here.
Just as I had moved him out of the starting lineup at all of my fantasy teams.
And he goes off.
Off. Of course, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Okay. This is an interesting one for the running back. Like, do we value Quinshon Judkins going into Pittsburgh against the Steelers? Teams that run on the Steelers now.
Yeah.
But you also get the Raiders and the Titans, 2 1-4 teams. Raiders back at home with Genty. Genty's like all they got right now.
Yeah. I mean, Bowers hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, man, that's a tough one. I think I'm going to go with, I got to go with Genty. I just got to do it. Got to go with Genty there, just based on volume. At home against the Titans is where I'm going to go with that one. And then I am back up and I need a receiver. On that front, I feel like let's go Teteroa McMillan, T-Mac.
Okay. I'm going to go Mason Taylor for my tight end.
Like that.
I know they play the Broncos, a tough defense, but they'll be chasing points, and he's caught the ball. So we'll go with Mason Taylor. Buck, you got the final pick.
Okay, we'll finish with the Brownie. Here we go. Finish with the Brownie. I'll just all in on the Browns offense. Let's go with Quinshon Judkins. Throwing it all over again. I mean, just
love it.
He's the only thing they got. Steelers.
Let's see what happen. I like that team. All right, we'll see how these rookies fare this week and see where we go from there. Sniper Hot or Not brought to you by Wasabi Hot Cloud Storage. Don't want to forget that. It's our coordinator of the week, boys, and we're going to go Josh McDaniels with the New England Patriots, coming off a big win. Drake May played outstanding. This is his 14th season as a Patriots offensive coordinator through 3 stints. So he's been in and out of there. 6-time Super Bowl champ. That's pretty nuts, right? To be able to see 3 different
crazy.
6-time Super Bowl champ, 25th year in the NFL. You look at some of these notes on him. Drake May, 100+ passer rating of 4 consecutive starts. He's playing great. In 24, this was passing offense was 32nd in the league. They are up to 8th this year. So doing a really nice job there. Obviously, you go through his time with New England, then you jump away, be the head coach of the Raiders. That doesn't work well. He comes back. Then he goes, he's at the Rams way back in 2011. That was a brief jump over there after being the head coach of the Broncos. So those were some of his other stops there. But all that success has come with the New England Patriots. So, Buck, I'll hit you on this. Why has he had such success with younger quarterbacks in his stops? He's been able to kind of get it out of younger quarterbacks, including, Tim Tebow all the way back in the day.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe he just has a unique way of working with those guys where he can teach them, get them to understand situational awareness, to take the check down, to maximize like what the defense is giving them. It's such a weird thing because you would think someone who had the kind of offenses that he had, that had the kind of success with quarterbacks, would have had a tremendous amount of success with quarterbacks, but for whatever reason, it hasn't clicked. But I know now what he's doing with Drake May, how he utilized Drake May, particularly in the Buffalo Bills. Look, man, the stock is on the rise in terms of Drake May's stock is on the rise because Josh McDaniels has a clear vision for how he wants to use his young quarterback.
Red, I think the Mac Jones thing. I mean, go back to the success that Mac Jones had as a rookie. So, I mean, that one would be an interesting one.
Well, and I think, look, we talk about it all the time here, right? I mean, the play caller is such a big part of the fit for a rookie quarterback, for a young quarterback. And I think there's stuff built into this offense that is friendly for a young quarterback, right? I mean, get the ball out of your hands. There's some of those, high completion percentage type of plays, type of routes. I think they've done a pretty good job utilizing the backs there. And then look, I think the pieces around Drake May are kind of coming together more so, this year than we saw, in his rookie season. Certainly Stephon Diggs got rolling, right? I mean, was it just that they were in Buffalo playing against them? I don't know, but it felt like they're starting to find, ways in which to get him going. Hunter Henry had a big couple of catches in this game. The thing that, I mean, now we know that Antonio Gibson's out for the rest of the year with the ACL. We'll continue to see Ramondre Stevenson, but I got to think at some point Travion Henderson becomes an X factor in this thing and becomes a bigger piece of the puzzle. And maybe it's just a slow burn and a slow build. But man, if that part gets going, watch out. And I think you've got some serious playmakers then on this offense.
Yeah, you got a nice
and the protection, for goodness sake. My goodness,
yeah, the two rookies are playing great.
Bill Campbell and Davis
Wilson.
Wilson. Yeah, excuse me. Fantastic.
Yeah, they've done a nice job there. It's interesting that some of the classes that we talked about, right after the draft, I remember specifically saying we love what the Patriots did with their rookies. We love what the Browns did with their rookies, and we love what Seattle did with their rookies. All three of those teams, those rookie classes have been as advertised, man. They're having big time impact from all of those guys. That was this week's Hot or Not segment, brought to you by Wasabi Hot Cloud Storage. Store more and do more with your data. Try them for free at wasabi.com. So there you go. There's our coordinator of the week in Josh McDaniels. Buck, what is your setup this weekend? Where are the Jags going, and what are we looking at?
Well, Jaguars. No. The Jaguars are playing at home against the Seattle Seahawks. And so it's a big game. Short turnaround, short week. Got to figure out how to get that done. You still have Trayvon Walker's status is up in the air coming off wrist surgery. You hope to have him back because defensively they need him. He is a monster off the edge, and he helps Josh Allen find success. Yeah, so tough turnaround, quick turnaround, but we'll see. Another good game.
Hey, Buck, when are we going to start taking Bashal Tutin in the rookie draft?
Oh,
I mean, he's in the rotation, but Travis Etienne is killing it. Yeah. He's like third in rushing. He's averaging in the first half like 8.8 yards per carry. So, I mean, when I see that, I can't just homer.
All right.
I just can't do the homer dome. But he's close. He has big returns. He just hasn't popped yet.
All right, guys. We're Buck is literally, I think he's in a closet somewhere, just efforting to get this podcast in. Like, that is a phenomenal effort on his part.
I love you, brother.
Rhett is fired up. I would love to keep this podcast going, but man, my office is just freezing in here. I Man, I just got to try and warm up a little bit here. So, anyways, hey, Rhett, we'll be watching your school this week. Really rooting for you there.
Yeah, it feels like it.
I hope that you can really come through with a big one. If nothing else,
those gloves look like mediums. They look like mediums. They look like small mediums. They're like,
I don't know.
That looks pretty good on you. I got to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. So there we go.
Okay.
Hey, go Hoosiers. Go get them.
Yeah.
That's going to do it for us, everybody. We'll see you next time right here on Move the Sticks.